right, hi you guys. My name is Dr. Kim Parsons, and I am the program chair of the Dental Assisting and Dental Hygiene programs over in the College of Nursing and Health Professions.
Could I just say that when I was at the dentist last week, I had a USI grad and she was great.
Was she?
Yes.
Thank you. Do you know what her name was?
I don't. She was new. Dr. Art Johnson.
He's a great guy. I used to go to him.
A new hygiene grad at Dr. Johnson's office?
She was a substitute, but she was wonderful.
Thank you. That's good to know. I just had one of my former students clean my teeth on Monday as well. And she was not expecting me because she's new to that office, and I think I made her very nervous. But, all right, so I'm just going to talk briefly today. I recently redesigned one of my courses, and it's called DTAS 166 Human Systems 2. And it is the second course in a two-course series, and it's intended for dental assisting students. And I've been teaching this course for actually about 4 years now. And the first year it was a face-to-face course. And then for time constraint reasons, we had to move it to be an online course. And when I first converted it to an online course, really all I did was do everything that I did in the classroom, and I recorded it and put it online. And I now see that that's not very beneficial. And so I had presentations that were 1 hour and 20 minutes long with my PowerPoint, and I'm just talking at them. And expecting my students to be engaged in the online course, listening to me talk, and not having any feedback or getting any variety of teaching techniques. And so, you know, when I'm in the classroom, when I do those PowerPoint presentations and I talk, we stop every couple of slides and we have interaction and we have discussion. And obviously I didn't have that in my online course. And so I wanted to redesign this course, and when I did, one of the things that thankfully was suggested to me and that I took the advice of was to not have those long recorded presentations anymore, and to try and deliver my content in different ways. And so what I did, so this is the first semester this course has been taught in this format, and I've been getting really positive feedback from my students, and they've been really engaged this semester. Is that for each module that I teach, I decided instead of recording a PowerPoint and going step by step through everything, every piece of content that I wanted them to know, I was going to just have some short videos that highlighted certain aspects of that module and certain things that I wanted them to know. Now, one thing that this did, I'm going to pull this, it doesn't really matter which week I pull up. I'm going to pull up a week so that you can see. One of the things that I did was I limited the, oh good, I'm not frozen in a really weird face on that one. Usually, honestly, my YouTube videos that I record, I'm frozen and my face is like really crazy. So one of the things that I did when I was looking for these instructional videos is I wanted to limit them to be 5 minutes or less. And so what I've done is I took my particular topic for that module, and I have picked out between 2 and 5 subtopics within that I feel are really important that I want to highlight for them. Now this does place more, I guess, it places more responsibility on the student. They really do have to read through their chapter because I'm not telling them every single thing that was in their chapter or chapters. And the basis for how many short videos I have included for the module depends on how long my module is. And is it 1 chapter of the textbook or is it 3 chapters? But I've limited myself to between 2 and 5 short videos with each module. And each video is 5 minutes or less. And so what I've done is I've just taken important topics from that particular module and I searched online. And I've used mainly YouTube videos, although I do have some from the TED educational site, and I have one small snippet from a TED Talk. But I've used these videos to just highlight those important aspects. So here's what's happened. Previously, the honest feedback that I got from my students at the end of the semester is that they would turn on my presentation that I had recorded myself, and they would turn it on because I monitored if they watched it or not for attendance, and they would walk away and do something else, right? so that it looked like they listened to it. And so they're getting nothing out of that, nothing at all. And I wanted them to be engaged. So what I'm finding this go around is that my students are willing to take 2 minutes or 5 minutes and watch a snippet. And they may not, you know, if I have 3 videos to watch on this particular subject, they may not watch all 3 of them at once, but they're willing to, they're willing to, I forgot I touched that. They're willing to just take 5 minutes and watch it and jot down some notes and move on. I have a discussion board on my Blackboard site, and it's not mandatory. It's basically just questions for instructor. So it's anything you want to know about the layout of the class, the material, the modules, etc. I've had so many good questions and interaction on that discussion board from things that they've watched and they wanted more information on or they wanted clarification on. And quite honestly, in previous semesters, my discussion board has been pretty silent with maybe the occasional question. So I'm finding that my students are at least engaged more and they're willing to get online and to at least try to take in this material. Now, I never post more than 1 video on a particular subject. So for instance, if my subject is water fluoridation, I'm not going to have 2 videos on water fluoridation. I have limited it and I have watched through and I picked the very best video that I want them to know. So I don't have duplicates of particular topics within the module. I'm just really trying to condense it. And I have some other learning things for them to do as well, obviously, but this is a good start. So each week what I ask them to do is I have a little checklist at the top, and it tells them exactly what they're going to need to do for the week. They're going to need to read whatever chapter or whatever it is. I always give a brief overview video of my week, and I record that on my computer and I post that to my YouTube account as well, so that it's there and it's embedded. And then I will list how many videos there are for them to watch so that they know. This week there's 2. And then I have a couple other things for them to do as well. But what I found is that my students are really actually clicking on them, they're actually watching them, and then they're coming back to me with questions. So we're having more student engagement. It's asynchronous. I mean, we're not all there at the same time, but I'm having more student engagement and I'm getting more feedback from them than I have the past 4 years. Yes, ma'am.
I have a question. First of all, when it says take quiz 3, is there a due date and time for that quiz?
Yes.
All right, are you seeing, because you're doing this as a week at a time, are you seeing the students do all the work right before the quiz, or are they spacing it out, or don't you know?
I did not put a tracking on my videos this time because I'm not including them for a grade. So I don't know when they're watching them, quite honestly, but I will tell you that I've been getting emails and discussion questions periodically throughout the week. Surprisingly, the way, let me back up so you can just see, the way that I have this particular course set up, there it goes, is you can see that everything is to be completed by 5 p.m. on Friday, and I open up the folder for that week. It's open for 7 days prior, and then it stays open for the rest of the semester. So, for instance, week 2, it opened at 8 a.m. on Saturday morning, and it's due the following Friday at 5 p.m. I actually get a lot of questions over the weekends that students tend to do it over the weekends, and it kind of just is what it is. But previously, really, I was finding that they were looking at my PowerPoint because I provide a PDF of that, but they weren't really engaged in the presentation and they weren't paying attention to it at all. So at least now with this, they can get a couple main topics that I really need to make sure that they pull from my class each week and really hit on those. And then they are responsible for reading the chapter or whatever other materials I've provided for that particular week to get the rest of that material and then ask me questions for clarification or things like that. So I have, with every week of the semester, I do have those short instructional videos, and I will tell you probably the most challenging part of redesigning this course was finding those good videos. It took me forever because there's a lot of videos out there, and there's a lot of really great ones, but they were over my time limit. They were 15 or 20 minutes long, and I really wanted, my goal was to keep it short. And then there was some not so great ones either. So one of my challenges was really weeding through the videos to see what really was accurate and what would be engaging for them. I also did try to pick videos, and not all of them are, that were visually stimulating as well. So I really tried to pick videos that not only provided good information, but I might have 2 or 3 on fat-soluble vitamins, and so I picked the one, if they all had good information, that was most visually stimulating, to try and keep my students engaged in that way. The other way that I'm using videos in this class for student engagement is that I'm having the students prepare videos of themselves as an assessment that I do. And let me just give you a tiny bit of background. This is for dental assisting students, and this is a course they take their last semester in our program. And so basically they've learned all of the body systems, they've learned about nutrition and its link with oral health and how it relates to the oral cavity. And I wanted to really, if we were in class, I used to have them do a presentation at the end of the semester as their final, instead of a written final exam, but we weren't in class. And so the past couple years we've done a written final, and I really wanted to get back to, again, having them engaged and really being able to make sure, for me to be able to assess that they had really synthesized the information that I presented to them. And so what I've done is during finals week this semester, I use OneDrive, which is available through my USI. And I have a folder on OneDrive, and I have basically made up some little case scenarios. And I have 7 case scenarios, and so I'm going to be assigning each of those to a student. So there will be more than one student that has the same scenario, but not everybody will have the same one. And basically what my students are going to do is I'm presenting them with this case, and I want to see if they can synthesize everything that they've learned in this sequence of courses and really apply it clinically. So what they're going to do is they're going to do a role playing. And they're going to be the dental assisting clinician, and they're going to have a friend or a neighbor, a family member, a mom or whoever, sit on the couch and be the patient that I've described in my scenario. And they're going to have to provide oral health education to their patient. And it's going to be about 5 minutes long. In my instructions I said 3 to 5 minutes, and I have a grading rubric so they can see how they're going to be graded. But basically, again, they're going to have a roommate or somebody take their iPhone and take a video of them providing oral health education to this patient, just as they would do in the dental office, so that I can really assess how they have taken in the material and if they're able to then apply it clinically, but also so that we have some engagement there, because they do this not graded in some other courses, and so I really want them, I don't want them sitting at home and taking another exam. I really want to make sure before they leave my program that when they graduate and in 2 weeks start working in the dental office that they can actually do this. And so we're utilizing videos in that way as well to have a little bit more of an interactive feel. My students have already told me that they're glad it's not an in-class presentation, because they're glad that they don't have to stand up in front of everybody and do it, and they feel a little bit more okay, at least at this point in time, with just recording themselves giving it. And then I have given them directions. They've all established with OneDrive their folder, and they've shared it with me. So basically they'll place their video in their folder, and then I'll be able to go in and look at those and grade them and provide feedback as well. So I'm using videos in a couple of different ways that I was not previously, and they're not just the straight out, I recorded it in Panopto, and I'm lecturing them. I couldn't quite give that up, so I did include that in a supplemental folder, so they can always go back and listen to it. And I've had a couple that have, when they have questions, but really, I just want them to be engaged. I want them to log on, look at the screen with a blank stare, press the play button and leave the room. I want to know that they're at least looking at the material, and then start the dialogue as much as we can in this online course. It's a little tricky because I also see them on a daily basis in class and other classes. So sometimes they'll just verbally ask me questions or have a dialogue about stuff that has been presented online. So it's not strictly, they don't strictly communicate with me online, but it's been very helpful in keeping their attention with those small snippets. And then again, in engaging them and letting them do projects or presentations in a little bit of a different way than they're used to. So I will know at the end of the semester how those go. But those are two ways that I'm really utilizing video this semester, and so far we've gotten really positive feedback from it. So, do you guys have any questions for me? Yes.
I always worry about the technology. So the students have not yet done the video where they have to record it on their phones.
They did. I had them they have not done that particular case study. The very first week of class, I did make them do a short video where they recorded it on their phone and they put it in their OneDrive folder, and it was basically kind of a little introduction, even though we all know each other, and it was a recap of something that had happened last semester clinically for them. And really I did that as a practice so that we would know that they're able to use their technology. Every one of them, I said you can use the camera on your computer, you can use, I don't care what you use to record it. Every one of them used their cell phone. You could see it because they all held it. It was like a selfie video. And as far as the technology goes, out of my students, I had one student who had trouble sharing her folder with me, and that was just because she was misreading the directions. So we didn't have any technological glitches then. And I did include in my syllabus, I had adapted the syllabus from the template that we'd gotten in our cohort when I redesigned the course, and it gave a lot of good information. And at the beginning of the semester, I told them, even if you don't print out your whole syllabus, print out page 10, because it has the, who to call if Blackboard isn't working, or who to call if, this OneDrive isn't working. So it had the different technical supports. So I always say, even if you don't print out anything else, you don't print out anything else in the syllabus, print out page 10, because if you can't log on and get to it, are you going to know who to call? So I did not have that concern the first time. We'll see how it goes the second time. But I had very explicit instructions, step by step, on exactly how to upload the video to the folder, how to share the folder, that type of thing. An opposite distance, and they helped me out with that. That wasn't me. That was you, Han. So, yeah.
That's very nice that you are using OneDrive.
Yes, and this is my first semester using it, so obviously I'm a little nervous because I'm not used to it, but it wasn't bad to start with, so we'll see how these little bit bigger projects go at the end of the semester. But so far, so good.
So how does this change maybe what you're doing in class or with your other online classes, using these little snippets of video?
So I'm very inspired because I have 2 other online classes, and one of them I plan to redesign this summer because all of my classes were the same. I just took them from what I used to do, what I've done forever in class, and just kind of converted it. So what I've realized through this process is that I'm the same way. I was an online learner for some of my graduate work, and I was very unengaged in many courses. And so what I've learned through that and through the process of designing this is that I have to be aware, they don't have the huge attention span, especially when it's me talking to them all the time. And so I'm trying to figure out different ways for my 3 online courses to keep them engaged and to keep very short snippets of information is now what I'm trying to provide. Same thing, actually, it's funny, I've redesigned one of my face-to-face classes as well, and we do a lot less lecture. We do some YouTube videos. I'm really into YouTube since I went through this cohort. Never was before. But I have found a lot of great just additional items that I can use there. You do have to look through it, but some really good pieces. So sometimes, I'll speak in class, and then we get in our groups and work, and then I put up a video. It's changed a lot. It's not just me talking as much. In most of my classes, there's one where I still talk a lot. We'll work on that one. But it's just helped me to recognize that I need to do things in shorter, more succinct periods to really keep them engaged. Other questions for me? You're saving them all for the minute. I am too.
Thank you.
All right,
Kim.
thank you. Right, sir. Yeah.
Open out. No, you got that, huh?
There you go.
Let me say something. My name is Kocakulah. I'm professor of accounting, and I teach only accounting. And starting from, I have one undergraduate course, which is junior and senior takes, and then I have two graduate courses. One is that's what I'm going to talk about over here, that MBA students who has not been taken any kind of business courses, so they have to come before they can start taking their core courses in the MBA program. They have to take this accounting course, and then we try to teach them the basics of accounting and financial and managerial accounting. And that's what the first one that I'm going to talk about. And then this is what I have done is that it has been until next semester, because I teach this once a year, so they have to come to here on campus, or if they cannot come to campus, we make arrangements so that they can take their exams wherever they are. But now we have changed it with Larissa's help, so everything is going to be online. Anybody in the world can take this course, so they don't have to be on campus anytime. So that's what I have done over here is that besides the PowerPoints and I have a friend who has been in this business. She records herself and she teaches this course, and then she let me use her videos, and she put them on the YouTube, and then everything is on one. And the student wants to know specifically one subject, just click, and then they get the information. Let me just go to financial accounting first, and then everybody is familiar with this. For example, let me go to receivables. You know, just as what happens is that cash and receivables, account receivables, and this is my account
receivable.
I was just with her two weekends ago. We had it at the meeting.
Turn it down a little bit.
So maybe they want to know something about the account receivables.
Sorry.
So, but that's what, this is the one, and then, but this is, each module is completely different, you know, just like, this is, I don't have to do that, what Kim has done, and to you know, just as, but these are very, all specific modules. And this one is the, for example, just the account receivables, and then we go back and, so if we wanted to talk about this is the, let me see this, note payables. So then we go to this, how do we,
You can
skip
skip
the ad?
it,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay. Skip the ad, and then this, we go to specifically that specific topic. And that's what, but this is also, you know, this financial and managerial, both of them, because otherwise, if they don't take this course, they have to go to school. Excuse me, they have to take two separate courses and two different semesters. So this is condensed in one semester, and that's what we teach. And then, of course, I give them quizzes. Quizzes are take-home quizzes, and there's times, and then they have so many days to take the quizzes, but when they start taking the quizzes, they have 60 minutes, they have to finish it. They cannot go back and come back. And then exams, they used to come, and now they have to take the exam online, and they have 2 hours to take the exam. Again, 1 week period, they can pick and choose between 6 p.m. No, I think that's what we set it up, that 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. so that they have to take in that time span so that they can take their exam. And then, of course, automatically, it is computer. It computes and then gives them the score right away. And then until everybody finishes, they can go back and look at the questions. So what they missed and then what they didn't miss. This is the one course that I teach. This is but this is really helpful. Instead of me doing it, and she let me use her things, and there's no problem. I'm very happy with that. But this is the course. Is there anything else that you want me to mention on this course?
I think just between what you and Kim have already mentioned, I think the common theme here is think smarter and not harder.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you don't have to sit down and create all these videos yourself. There's a wealth of knowledge that's already created out there. And luckily he knew this individual well enough to already organize it like this.
Right.
And
You
so
see
I-
that organized. Everything is, it's specific topics. And, even though I have put that on the Blackboard side, say, here's on the left side, you can go watch the YouTube videos. Students didn't even know, they don't check. And these are the people that they are in the working people, and they are management positions, and they do not go and look at all the information. And so I didn't know that it existed. That's what they said. So it is there for you to be able to. And if they still have a question, of course, they send me an email. And then I can answer their questions.
And also how they use it differently. Kim's was more, not necessarily supplemental information, but it was included there, whereas the Mets was more supplemental information. So you can use it in both facets.
And I noticed that the two videos that you brought up were both short as well.
Yes,
One was
yeah, yeah.
4 minutes, one was 6 minutes.
Right,
So
exactly.
short
That's
little
what I mean. These are covers a topic. These are specific topics, as you can see over here. And yes.
I have a question on your exams. Do you just have one major exam, or do you have quizzes all the way?
No, I have 4 quizzes in this. Every quiz is before the exam. I have 2 exams, 2 midterms, and 1 final exam.
Okay, and then you have quizzes as well, or not?
Now, yeah, I have 4
Okay,
quizzes.
all right. Well, that was what I wanted to ask. For your quizzes, do you include in the feedback? I'm assuming you're doing the multiple choice quizzes on Blackboard.
Yes.
Do you include in the feedback which of these particular videos?
These chapters, no. I do not go to tell them that, this is, you have to watch this. No.
You did what
I was laughing at her. And,
Right?
yeah.
And his quizzes are done through Cengage, not
Okay.
Blackboard.
Okay.
No, it's not on Blackboard. Because I used to do the Blackboard, but Blackboard is not as dependable as the publishers. Because when I was using the Blackboard, something happened. I used to get email and say, system kicked me out. I had to go and set up for the student to, I don't know where they left off, but Cengage system, what they do is that wherever left off, and then they start all over again, they can open their system
Does
themselves.
it allow you to make the questions up, or are you?
Yeah, I make the questions
You're
up.
making the questions.
Yeah, I make up the questions. Yeah, every single question has one. Sometimes algorithmic, just because it might be the same, but numbers are different. And also answers like this A maybe becomes C, or this is 2 people can take the exam or quizzes together, but they may not get the same.
And so, do you run this through Blackboard? Is there a link to Cengage on
Yeah,
your Blackboard
On
site?
the Blackboard has, yes, Cengage, there's a specific title on the,
Click here for Cengage.
yeah, link to Cengage, yeah.
I have a problem. Both of you deal with subject matters that are quite different than I do. And one of the, I don't often get to teach modern history because my specialty is the 18th and early 19th century, and I do earlier stuff. But I've been teaching this semester, and I will next semester, teach courses that deal with 20th century history, which gives me a huge variety of primary source videos.
Right.
Now, my problem, and I use a lot of them, I'm going to use a lot of them in the fall as well. My problem is I can't just let the students watch the video. because they might not understand the context, and I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to deal with that problem, because they need to understand the context, or there are things in the video that I want particularly for them to pay attention to, and I still haven't figured out how I'm going to deal with that. So I don't know if anybody has any
You could
suggestions.
either, a couple things that you could do, when you post the video and you post the thumbnail for it, you can, like above or below it, you know, you could do bullet points or things that you want to point out to them in the video. Like above my video, I just said a brief explanation of what it was about, but if you had specific things that you wanted to explain in context, you could do that. Or what I found easier than typing everything out is my weekly overview video, and it's always 5 minutes or less, and I record one every week. And what I do, and that's that I post on YouTube and I embed as well. And all I do is I review things from last week that either went really well or maybe didn't go well, and then I talk about expectations for this week, and if there's things like that you want to clarify or that you want to provide context for. It's almost like you're talking to them face to face, and it's just like the first thing. So, you know, you could say, okay, you're going to watch videos A, B, and C, and in video A, this is what I want you to be aware of before you watch it. And I post that. That's my top, after my checklist, my video where I speak is the top thing, so they always watch that so they know what's going on. So that may be an idea as well, is just to say, just a brief 5-minute explanation of what you want them to
Also,
know.
make sure that you have really explained to them that this is their job to follow this, especially the content of the course. So I'm going to give you one example that another course that I teach, which is the real MBA course, that they have to have, that require MBA course, and they have to turn in the cases every week, okay? Because then I have a Blackboard side, there is a case submission. There's a space, and then there is a deadline, and they have to, as soon as they download the case, and they solve it, and then turn it in, drop it in that specific area. So that's what I tell them. I said, make sure that you download your case after you finish to this place. So one group, of course, they didn't do it. So, and time in direction is too many different places that gives that direction.
Oh, okay.
And then it's not that they cannot say we didn't see it. And time, and of course they didn't get the points. And they say, why didn't we get the points? Where did I said, specifically I said, do not email the solution of the case. Okay, so they learn, so they have been using it. But this technology, if you ask them, if you do not accept, because their mistake, and they won't follow your direction. That's what I learned. Okay, so that's what we do over here, and then that's what I used to do. Same thing for this, and they used to have Blackboard side on this quizzes, and they have to drop it in a certain place. Don't email me, because I have enough email I see. And can you imagine another 20 or another 27 students and sending an email and dropping their things off. So that's what we don't want. That's what they're specific, and if they don't get the points. This is one. And then let me tell you what I do in my other class. My other class is, this is the undergraduate course.
Well, that's our Panopto recorder. Just minimize that screen.
Oh, minimize it, okay, I should not close it. Okay, I have to go back to my courses, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, I'm teaching this course, this is the undergraduate course. And what I do, I use the Panopto on this one. And I do go over here, they have to go, I love this Panopto, and not the so this is the latest, last week I recorded this, 24th. And this is real, live, and I do not cut anything. nothing. I mean, this is because I'm in the classroom and then I'm talking about it, and as you can see over here, and I start writing. And it captures everything, because I do not use the blackboard anymore. I use the computer screen. Everything I write is on the computer screen.
Oh.
Yes. And I'm sitting over there, and then, so but the furniture is not set up for this kind of stuff. There's a little room over here, and then barely put my stuff,
Yeah.
over there, and then I have to, and then there's a little microphone over here, so I have to pull it.
Where is the camera? Do you have one of these stick cameras, or where is your
Well,
camera?
camera is at the back.
You have to be in a room that's equipped for an
Yeah.
opto recording.
Yeah, it is on the, just as exact, this is because I have to, you see, what happens is that we have, I think, a couple of rooms. I demand this room because you can sit over here and I can write. And then what happens is that I set it up. When I set it up beginning of the semester, because nobody else uses this prompter, I tell the students, I am the only one, everything is set, I don't have to make any adjustments. Every week I go, every week besides the exams, I capture my lectures. And then, as you can see over here, student can stop anytime and then watch it. And what happens, because I'm teaching 2 courses, one in the classroom, one online. And as soon as I am done with my class, recording this, before I come to my office, which my class is on the 3rd floor, I go to the 2nd floor to my office, and Nato is on my email. Okay, it's available, and then I start, let me just, I talk over here, but this is what happens. And I want them to read something, and then, so I start writing it down, and then explain to them exactly why we do this, how we do this, and we solve the problem, and then talk about the issues that why we have to do this. And then, but students love it. I mean, the only thing they have to do is that they have to have take time to go back and look at it. Usually, those students who are in the classroom, they come to class. Very seldom that they are missing the classes. But even though they are not missing, but they can go back and then they can watch this. Especially, I love this part. Just as the step by step. So you may see the solution, but step by step solution of it is perfect. I mean, this is like whatever what Kim was doing on the YouTube video. That's what I tried. I was going to do it on the YouTube. I'm going to put these on the YouTube so that everybody else can enjoy it. So do it. So if Kim wants to learn some accounting, and she can go.
I love it. I actually do that too. And so all of my classroom, in class, I record.
Yeah.
Except that I walk around so much that my IT guy I have him scheduled, so he has to record me because I walk around so much, and so he will record me, and they'll record my presentation on the screen, but then also any demonstrations I do, and then it's automatically put on Blackboard so that students can go back and review them.
See, I use Panopto to record my class lectures, but I don't bother with me because they don't need to see me.
or they don't. But I feel that this is, that's what I have a different idea. I want them to see me, this is like my facial features, is what is important, what is not, this is that. So they can see it, and then, so they can make the connection. So that's what I am doing, and then I can write this thing, that's what I do. And most importantly, that they have to be able to go back and then look at it before the exam. And then all the problem has been solved in that class, everything is, and I do keep those also on the PDF file, on the H drive. So what I do is that I'm transferring those to Blackboard. So to look at the solution of the problems that we solve in the classroom, they don't have to watch this. If they want to, they can. If they don't, so they can go look at their solution of the problems themselves. I mean, just a finished product.
And so I wanted Mehmet to show you all this, because this is an option if you're teaching face-to-face and going to be teaching online. This is a very easy transition to do so, because this is already in class, this is already with student engagement, asking questions, and so you can kind of hear that. So this is, you know, almost kind of like step one of how do I teach this online,
Right.
if you're already teaching it face-to-face.
I think this is a very good point, Larissa, because that's what they sometimes the student asks questions, and I have to answer it, and I want them to raise, you know, sometimes, you know, just as I feel that I am the only one. I said, guys, when I ask you a question, respond, so that I am not talking to myself. They know that, you know, there's somebody else in the classroom. So that's what they try to respond. But that's what it is, just regular classroom. And then what I do is like, this is what I did today. I mean, like this classroom, this semester, I'm going to transfer everything to the summer course. Only thing I have to change are just the dates. And then they can go watch it, and then basically, but anytime we change the book, the thing's gonna be changed also. But that's how it works. And then as you can see, more problems are just as they're coming up, and you know, this is not it. I mean, this is, you can see it over here somehow. So, I was the one that did not want to teach online. And I have been doing this one course, I have been doing almost 10 years. And the other courses probably 4 years or 5 years. And then now we are going to MBA program online, and I am sure you have heard of it. And then because we have the university had a contract with they call it company AP, whatever it stands for. So we are going to offer all the courses on 7-week modules. So, but what I do is that I teach my other graduate course online this summer. But same thing, when I did this, and then I transfer everything over there. And student, when I talk to them, they say, yeah, well, you have mentioned that on your, you know, this is after lectures, so that I got that, what you are talking about. And they mention those things, and then they are looking at it, especially those responsible who wants to do it. I mean, you have to have a desire. You have to make time. And then one student on this class, not this class, but my online class, one of the students is somewhere out of the country, and he hasn't been taking quizzes. Because every chapter I give them quiz on this class. And then he doesn't take any quizzes, but he takes the exams. So I sent him an email, I said, what's going on over here? I said, why can't you get, and he said, well, I'm visiting my grandmother someplace in the remote country. He didn't tell me the country where it was. And then he said, I have to go to, when exam time, he said, I have to go to an internet cafe in another town so that I can take the exam. But my grandmother doesn't have I cannot go every week. Okay, because now I'm thinking about this. If this guy does good, I will think about this when I'm grading his, putting his grade. I will think about something that, she's maybe like little adjustment to his grade because of what kind of situation he's in. So that's what, I mean, they can be anywhere. This is the best part of it. And then, but my online class, they take, again, all the quizzes are in the one day. They know which day, and it is open 6 a.m. till 8 p.m. And they have 20 minutes to take their quizzes. It's not and then they start, they have to finish in 20 minutes. And then exams are the same way. Exam dates are set. It's one day, 8 a.m. to, 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. And they know which chapters it covers, and they have to finish it. But sometimes what happens is that they go to a disability center, some students have disability, and they send me an email, they said this The doctor, we have a doctor's order, and then this person needs 1.5 times than normal person. So I go and make adjustment to their exam time. And instead of 120 minutes, I make it 180 minutes. So, but these are the beauty of it. And that's why, and then if the system kicks them out, and then they can come back and then wherever they left off, and then they can start all over. But Blackboard doesn't do that. That's why I switched to publishers' software. Do you have any questions?
No, I don't think I'm gonna take that course. It looks too complicated for me.
Yeah, but this will be really helpful for you
No.
because
I'd have to do that.
how much does it cost to do something?
No, it's got numbers in it. That's nice. You didn't want to avoid courses with numbers in it, except if they're dates.
Yeah.
Can I turn it this off?
Yeah, you can go ahead. And this survey is for us. It's not an evaluation of them as presenters, so you two don't worry about that.
That's okay.
This is just what we can do to better support you. And while you're filling this out, let's see if you can multitask. So we have this new guy in our office. This is Mr. iPad Pro. So this is one of the newest iPads, and one of the cool features with an iPad Pro is an Apple Pencil. And so this will help you annotate over anything over desktop. I mean, there's certain apps you can download with this, but I just kind of wanted to show you how this works on an app called Zoom.
Can you buy it one?
You can request it from your department chair.
Yeah.
We have a loaner program that you can use. And so here, I was going to show you what it's like. And the coolest part about this, sorry, I'm not going to use red. Red kind of terrifies me. And so here, it's a very fine point. I'm going to try to write upside down. But the cool part is I can put my hand on it. And it won't pick up anything but the pencil.
Oh, nice.
And so this is really nice for, I don't know, mathematical equations or something else that you want to annotate over a desktop. And how this works over the iPad then is then once you do a recording, it'll actually show up in a cloud recording. So I'll show you. So it doesn't get downloaded onto the iPad like it would if you use your desktop. And again, if you want to know more information about Zoom, this is just kind of a very quick tutorial here. No, that's right. Oh, I think I'm missing. Ah,
Do you want me to sign into my Zoom account? Would that help you?
no, it has to be the distance one. 'Cause that's how I paired it. Well. Okay, I'm gonna try one more time. If not. Okay. Well, that's
Thank you very much for coming.
Thank you. Well, anyway, here it'll show up on cloud recording and it'll show up right within Zoom.
Okay.
So that's just something.
So you already paired it with your Zoom?
Yep.
So that anytime you write in that app, it
Mhm.
It'll go
automatically.
right.
That's
Right.
cool.
So yeah, all you do is, it wasn't recording at the time, but you go to more and you go to record and it's recording right now. So I can do lecture recordings, draw on this for whatever reason. Click stop recording. In meeting. And then it'll pop up on this account that for some reason I just can't remember the password right now. They call that pregnancy brain, right? Well, it's really.
No, we call that normal.
Yeah.
No, I mean, for me, it's normal.
All right, well, thank you all for coming today. If you have any other questions or anything, please stop by our office and let us know. Take some more sandwiches as you're heading out.
I want to know how you use Sunreach to give quizzes, because I have that problem.
She's the expert.
Do you mind if I show her your course?
Yeah.
Okay. You can go ahead and I'll stop the recording. Do I stop it up here too?
Yeah.
Okay. That'll be great.